states that Raghunath Vaidya came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when the Lord was staying at Panihati. He was a great devotee and had all good qualities. According to the Chaitanya Bhagavata, he was formerly Revati, the wife of Balaram. Anyone he glanced upon would immediately attain Krishna consciousness. He lived on the seashore at Jagannath Puri and compiled a book of the name Sthan Nirupana. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Karami Yandati Sapadantikam Vandam Shri Guru Shri Rupa
Vandam Shri Guru Shri Rupa
Shri Radha Krishna Padana Shagana Lalita Shri Vishakarnitam Cha Namayam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasarine Nirvishesha Shunavani Takshata Deshatarine He Krishna Purna Shri Dinavandhu Jagat Pate Gopusha Gopika Kantu Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrinda Vaneshwari Vishabhanu Shruti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpa Taruvashya Kripashinda Vivacha Patitanam Pavanabha Vishnavabha Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasali Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna dear devotee. Before starting saying something, I say big mercy from all of you as well as the devotees presented here. So today we are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and here all of the devotees, the main devotees actually, though all of the devotees are main, there is no description in one sense, but still those devotees who are highly associating Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his whole entire period of his life, here are described mainly about them. So in the 123, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is writing that now I am going to describe some of the devotees who are available in the Nilachal with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this line, he was describing the different devotees here, mainly Paramananda Puri and Sharup Damodara. Those two are the heart and soul of the Lord. So here, somehow, while reading, hearing the discourse on this line, we somehow know some pastimes about Paramananda Puri, Sharup Damodar, and the prominent names like Bhakrishara, Jagadananda, Thakur Haridas. And that's why actually Prabhupada in his purport, he didn't mention too much about all of them, because later in the in some other verses we will get more information about them. But here we see he described about Raghunath Vaidya. So while yesterday I was searching some information about Raghunath Vaidya, it seems that it's really tough to get some information. The information that Srila Prabhupada gave, only that information I got by searching the whole websites. So to describe about him, in a short, I made a table to describe his whole journey that we got about him. It's only mentioned a little bit about him in Chaitanya Bhagavatam, as here also mentioned in the Antolila, where it is mentioned that he came in a Panihati Chiradadi festival that is waiting for us to be held tomorrow. Panihati Chiradadi festival came.
Jai.
So he came there to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and from his title it's very clear that he was a doctor actually, medical scholar. We see another person, another associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who was also doctor, you know.
Murari Gupta.
Yeah, Murari Gupta. He was the doctor of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying he was the doctor of both body and soul. And there is a nice, some interesting story about Murari Gupta. I think it's available in Chaitanya Bhagavatam, not in Chaitanya Charitamrita. One day while Murari Gupta was taking prasadam, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so small child. It was so funny. So he went there and he just pee. He just urinate on the plate of Murari Gupta. But Murari Gupta didn't get angry because it's natural. Just like that day, Maharaj also told, and that day in our Harinam class also, Prayer and Mataji told that how Maharaj was feeling so, heartfelt sorrow for the for one lady who was just chastising the devotees for chanting the Harinam. So, like that is very natural. You see, if there are many persons in the street, we will see they are not devotee, but still, when they hear Harinam, somehow they have got some chukriti. They are not envious too much about Krishna. So that's why, whenever they hear the Harinam, as it is a transcendental sound, and we have the eternal connection with this holy name, so they got spiritual taste in their heart. Even they don't know what is this. That's why they generally accept it very easily. But those are highly envious to Krishna and they didn't get any Shukriti or Punya Karma, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita also. Jesham tu antagat papam jananam punya karmanam te dandamahani mukta vajanti mandir brata. Even after being devotee, even to be honest, after staying 20-30 years in the Krishna consciousness, when something terrific or something like uncommon things happen to us, some devotees, they are really, it's tough for them to understand and tolerate that as it is the marks of Krishna. So it totally, Krishna and Krishna consciousness, it doesn't depend on the years, how many years we stayed in Krishna consciousness. It totally depends on the realization, especially the connection with the Krishna, how much deep relationship and connection we got for him. And but due to our envious nature to the Krishna, naturally I got this practical experience while we are residing in the boys with devotees. We are staying there, more than 20 devotees. So in some cases we saw, so we have this seva, we two devotees, we have this seva to serve the devotees, maintaining the whole boys. Boys means hostel, like where the devotee students are residing. So we saw there are a few devotees, whatever decision we took, they always did the resist against the decision. So later I tried to find out, actually it's not problem with the decision, it's problem with us, because they are not happy with us. That's why they are, whatever decision we took, they are not happy with the decision. Like this is the same case in case of our authority also. If we are not submissive and dedicated to our authority, then whatever decision they took, then it will seem to us not interesting or not palatable for us. It's not the decision is not good. It's our mentality is not good. That's why we are thinking the decision is against us. And that is the nature, actually, Sati, while she was in the Srimad Bhagavatam, she was describing to his father that there are, when he was showing his envious nature to Lord Shiva was calm and quiet, because that is his nature, that most of the time he meditates on the Ram Nama, like Brahma Bale Chaturmukhe, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Mahadeva Panchamukhe Rama Rama Hare Hare. Mahadev has 5 mouths. In his 5 mouths he always engaged in chanting the name of the Lord Rama. So in the assembly he was meditating, and thus he was closing his eyes. He didn't notice when Daksha entered. But Daksha, as he was arrogant and impudent, he was proud too much. He was thinking, this Shiva, he is so nasty person. Just out of mercy, I gave my beautiful daughter in his hand. And actually, the Lord Brahma, he actually requested me. And in this way, he actually gave his finger to Brahma also. Like when one is too much arrogant and impudent, he just lost his common senses also. So like this, he was so envious to Lord Shiva. Then when Sati, she went there against the permission of the Lord Shiva, then when she saw that there was not any sacrificing portion for the Lord Shiva, then she became so furious and she became so upset to his father. Even his father didn't came to receive her. Her father didn't came to receive her. And then Shochi told actually there are to his father, to her father, there are 4 kinds of people. And then she described that there are one type of person, they don't see any fault in others. Like there was a nice incident in the Purana. Once hunter, Veda hunter. So it was a scorching heat. So the hunter was hunting in the forest, and there was a statue of Shiva Linga, symbol of Shiva Linga like this statue. So there was one Shiva Linga there, and due to the scorching heat, Shiva was feeling the huge temperature in his body. So after killing an animal, this hunter, what he did, he was thinking, okay, let's keep it somewhere so that I can hunt one more. So he took this animal, and the animal was it was bleeding from the body of the animal, and thus the blood is always, when someone got dead or some animal got dead, it became cold. So due to the cold nature of the blood, Lord Shiva was feeling a little much more better because of the heat. So then Lord Shiva thinking, wow, he's so grateful, he is so nice person, he is giving me some like cooling environment. So thus we see those who are Paramhamsa, those who are in the transcendental platform, a pure devotee of Lord, they never see any fault. Though it is actually a great offense to put like any dead animal on the Shiva Linga, but Lord Shiva was thinking positively. So that is the nature of the Paramhamsa devotee. And then Shruti was describing there is second type of person. They see both good and bad in others, but they always focus the good, ignoring the bad. Just like our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, he told, while we are serving with the devotees, we should always focus on the good things and always neglect the bad things or bad characteristics or bad qualities, so that we can uplift together. So thus Shruti was describing his father. The second type of person, they see both good and bad, but they always focus the good, thinking that it's good for me. Actually, to be honest, when we see good in others, it doesn't seem that we are doing something great for him. We are doing something good for us, because by doing this, we are actually not cultivating the faults or not cultivating the bad qualities inside ourselves. And that is very natural. You see, when we are trying to see faults of other, naturally somehow this faults is coming in us also, even we don't know, so unconsciously. And that's why His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj was told in one of his lectures that if we see any fault of other devotees, that means the same fault is rising inside ourselves. Either we have this fault already, or this fault is being grown inside little by little in ourselves. And that's true. If we have a check, if we be a little bit introspective, and if we have a check inside ourselves, then we will see, if we see someone's fault in some particular purpose, then naturally, if we try to be real and honest and try to have a good look to ourselves, then we will see actually this fault is, we are cultivating little by little this fault inside ourselves. So Sati was describing the second person, they are also good, but they see both. Like they are one type of, you can say, Madhyamadhikari Bhakta. They see both good and bad, but they focus on the good only, neglecting the bad. And then Sati told the third types of persons are there. They see both good and bad, but they focus on the bad, neglecting the good. So that's if there are so many qualities. Like for example, we see some people, some stupid people actually, they blame or criticize Srila Prabhupada. They don't see that Srila Prabhupada delivered thousands and lakhs of people by his personal presence, by his teaching, by his books he has written. Like once I was hearing one lecture of Radhakrishna Prabhu, and he was saying that there was one Pandit, a scholar in Vrindavan. He told, oh, Srila Prabhupada English was not so good. He was actually a professor of English. So he told, Swamiji's English is not so good. So he don't find any philosophical fault of Srila Prabhupada. That's why he's trying to see something else. So it's not a great matter. We are not focusing on the language, our focus on the philosophy. But there are many persons like this, they focus only the faults. And we have to be honest, we have to check, in my case also, we have to check this whether this kind of mentality we are bearing. Because if we do so, then ultimately we are not doing any harm to others, we are doing harm to ourselves. And if we do so, then there will be no friend of us. Because in this material world, everyone has some fault, as it is stated in the Krishna, by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Just like fire is always covered with, smoke. Like this, every person has some fault. So, if we don't have any fault, then we should not be here. We should be on the spiritual world, except the, our acharyas. So here we see when we see the faults of devotees too much, then everyone will be detested to us and there will be no good friend of us. But in Krishna consciousness, we always need friends, because that is the human nature. We are always social. We can't live alone. Like imagine, sometimes, to be honest, many times I think, what if there is no devotee in Radha Parisisvara temple, only me? Then it's not possible. Who will take care of the deity? Who will sing? Who will give the lecture? So it's very important, all of the single personal, individual, important for our temple. Everyone. Just, in previous one of his lectures, our dear Rashabharan Prabhu was saying how the person who was not playing katha nicely, he was feeling the separation for him when he was absent. That is very natural actually. When some devotee absent in the temple, then we feel, oh, now Revatinandan Prabhu is absent, there is no Harinam. In the morning program, we say, is there any Harinam? No, there is no one to lead. So it's very important for all of us to have someone like, everyone is important. We can't think, okay, he's doing just like cleaning the temple, he's not so important. He's also important. If the temple is not clean, then Lakshmi Mata Radharani will say, oh, what the hell is going on here? How can I stay here? Cleanliness next to godliness. So then Sati saying his father, then there are fourth kind of person. They never say any good to others. They always see fault of others. So you are the fourth kind of person. He was indicating his father with finger. You are the fourth category of person. You are the worst person. And still, when someone is so proud, his heart is become so hard, still he has no feeling. Daksha was not feeling nothing. And when Sati was actually firing herself in the fire, still Daksha was strong enough. Then just imagine, daughter was getting to die in front of him, but he is so strong. No emotion, no feelings. That is actually being because of proudness. And to be honest, we are reciting in Krishna consciousness because we are getting some taste. Otherwise, it's not possible to stay in Krishna consciousness years after years. As Krishna told Visha Vinivartante Nirarasha Dehina Rasavarjam Rasapshu Param Drishta Nivartante. Only one can neglect something when he gets something higher test than the inferior one. So that's why when one is residing in Krishna consciousness years after years, that means he is getting some test. But in our practical life, maybe we can see some devotees when we become so proud, then we don't see good in the devotees, and then our relationship is getting broken, and then we don't get any test in Mangalarati, in chanting. It seems like mechanical, like I have to do it. Sometime, to be honest, in Bangladesh, once we are doing book preaching. So one of the senior devotee, I don't want to mention his name, but while I was trying to distribute the book, it was really astonishing to us. He was saying that where I have the time to read the book, Prabhu, I don't know even for the last few weeks where is my japa bit. So it was really astonishing to us. He was a senior devotee, disciple of our Guru Maharaj, but he didn't know where his japa bit is residing for the last few weeks. So it's to be honest, it's a really surprising matter. So here Sati is saying that let's have a recap all of the 4 types of people. Number 1 was like, I want to hear from you. Sorry?
Don't see any default.
He don't see any fault in others. Number 2?
See both but focus.
Yeah. Number 3 was
See both focus on the bad.
focus on the bad only. And number 4 was like me, only see fault of others.
Whatever.
Yeah. So due to the envious nature of the living entity, they always try to oppose Krishna. Actually, it's not that Krishna is wrong or Krishna is doing something wrong. Because of the envious nature towards Krishna, we are thinking Krishna is, why Krishna has made like this. Like, to be honest, sometimes when I go, especially in the Europe, when I go to the street, I see how, like, due to their envious nature, they always try to do the opposite. Like, it is naturally told women should be always properly dressed, especially for the women. Also, men should be dressed properly. But as the Kali era of the Kali is progressing, the size of the dress, especially for the women, is getting smaller and smaller. So why they like this? Because they are against their intention, their mind is getting corrupted in a way. They are always do something that is not natural. That's why there are some psycho people. They always, there is one incident in India, and there are so many documentary also about it. One small child, he actually killed 3 small childs. So from his small age, he started killing people. Later, he was actually treated by doctors because when even he has no feeling. When he was taken to the doctors and the police, when they were inquiring from him, he said that actually I was getting so much pleasure to killing the children. So just see, that means on a child age, we don't have too much emotional impact, or we don't have too much intelligence according to the scientific research. But why is doing so? Because of the his tendency of doing this kind of activities years after years in his previous lives. So like that's why we are envious. But to be honest, there is nothing to be envious to Krishna, because naturally people think, why should I be servant? Well, I want to be master. But Krishna actually want to be servant of the devotees, and he mentioned it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is very nice verse. I like to recite it nicely. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was writing, Murmata Muraputra. Let me remind it. Murmata Muraputra Murapranapati Ei Rupe Jai More Kare Suddha Bhakti Apanare Badabale Amare Samahina Shei Rupe Hui Ami Tahara Adina Matamore Putra Bali Karina Bandan अतिहीन ज्ञान करे लालन पालन शका शुद्ध शक्य करे स्कंदे आरहन तुमी कोन बड़ा लोग तुमी आमी सम प्रिया यदि मान करी करे वर्षन विदस्तुति हुईत शयी हरि मोर मन. So here it is saying that more putra, more sakha, more pranapati. Ei rupe jay mure kare suddha bhakti. One who is doing pure devotional service to me, thinking Krishna, thinking me, that means thinking Krishna as son, more putra, more sakha, as friend, more pranapati, as one loving object. Ei rupe jay mure kare suddha bhakti. Apunare bada bale amare samahina. Shei rupe hoyami tahara adina. He thinks himself better than me, superior than me. Krishna is saying in this way, my devotee thinks himself superior than me. Apunare bada bale amare samahina, and think myself as equal or inferior than him. Shei rupe hoyami tahara adina, and in this way I become subordinate to him. Matamore putra vali kare na bandhan. My mother, she bind myself with the rope. Atihina gyane kare lalana palan, and she is taking care of myself, bringing up myself, thinking just he is my child. She never think that he is the Lord. Atihina gyane shaka shuddha shakya kare skande arahan tumi kon bada log tumi ami sam. And my friends, they they always ride on my shoulder. Shaka shuddha shakya kare skande arahan. They take a ride on my shoulder. Tumi kon bada log tumi ami sam. Who is the who the hell you are? You and me, we are on the equal level. They think in this way, the friends of the Krishna. Priya jadi man kari karai varshan, and if my darling, dearest loving objects, I mean gopikas, priya jadi man kari karai varshan, if they chastise me and they get angry toward me, pedustuti hoite shai hare mor man, that is more palatable and more pleasuring to me, even when one chants the Vedic hymns. Om Swaha, like we do the sacrifice. So Krishna says it's much more pleasurable for me if the gopikas, they are chastising me out of their furiousness. So that is the pure devotional service. But as we want to be Lord, neglecting the Supreme Lord, as it is stated in the Bhagavatam, Bhayam Ditya Vinivasata Isapatasha Viparjasmiti. Fear, that is the second element that comes into the living entity. When Isapatasha, Isa means Ishara, Apatasha means turning away. So Isapatasha means turning away from the God. When one is turning away from the God, then the fear, that is the second element, enters into us. Isapatasha Viparjasmiti. Then his memory totally got lost and he got entangled in this material world. So that's why it is our duty, as per our capacity allows, we should try to revive this transcendental love of the living entities that is already there, so that they get more attachment to Krishna, so that they can also be attached in Krishna consciousness. And it is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita so nicely how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying to his devotees, to all of the devotees, helping him. And though it's a long verse actually. Ekila malakarami kaha kaha jabo nadi aye prema fal ar ki karibo. Ekila uthaiya dite hai parishram keho paay keho na paay mane rahe brahm. Ataheva yami agga dilu sabha kare jaha taha prema fal deho jare tare. Atma ichha mat brikha shinchi nirantar tahate ashanka fal brikhara upar. অতএব সেই ফল দেহ যার তারে খাইয়া হোক লোক অজর অমরে জগৎব্যাপী অমর হইবে সুখ্যাতি সুখী হইয়া লোক মোর গাইবে কীর্তি ভারত ভূমিতে মনুষ্য জন্ম হইল যার জন্ম সার্থক করি করো पर उपकार एताव जन्म साफल्यम देहिनाम इह देहेषु प्राणयर्थ दिया वचा श्रेयाचरणम सदा. That is the one verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, while Lord Krishna was saying to his friends, indicating a tree, oh my dear friends, see the life of a tree, how it is successful, because they are totally dedicating their lives for others only. Etava janma sapallam, the life of a living entity only be successful when prana artha diyavacha shreya acharanam sada, when he is doing the shreya, not prayer. In the particular purpose, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that there are two types of things, one is shreya and one is prayer. Prayer means temporary benefit to others, just like giving ointment when there is some burning or there is some booze, then giving ointment is the external benefit, but doing the surgery is the real benefit. So prana artha diyavacha shreya acharanam shraddha, with one's heart, artha means money and diya means intelligent, vacha means with his words. With one's heart, with one's intelligence, with one's words, with one's money, one should do the shreyas to others, one should benefit the others. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, I am the only malakar, he is the only gardener. Ekela malakar ami kaha kaha jabo, and it's not possible for me to go everywhere. Ekela ba nadiya premufol ar ki koribo, and without giving this love of Godhead, what will I do? Ekela uthaiya dite hoy parishram. It is very tough and laborious task for me to give it to everyone. Ekela uthaiya dite hoy parishram. Keho paye, keho na paye, mone roy bhram. And I am in an illusion whether everyone has got this fruit of love of Krishna. Atoeva yami agga dil sabakare jaha taha premafal deho jare tare. So it is my instruction to everyone. Wherever you get someone, whomever you got, you just give this fruit of love to everyone. And thus he is saying, Bharat bhumite manushya janma hoila jar. Whoever has got birth in the holy land of Bharatvarsha, janma sartha kari karo paropakar. They should always help themselves at first, then they should make others' life also successful. So that is Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction to all of us. Of course, there should be a balance because we can only, if I have 100 euro, then I can give someone like 10 euro, 20 euro, or at best 100 euro. But if I don't have 100 euro, I can give him much more than that. Like if I have 50 euro, I can give 100 euro to others. So, and to be honest, there is saying like be selfish to be selfless. Always we should be a little bit selfish so that we can guard ourselves. For a spiritual practitioner, it is the first priority to guard himself, to guard his bhakti at first, then help others. It's not like this doing preaching and preaching. There is no clue of the japa bid where it is residing. At first we should do our sadhana best, but at the same time it's also mentioned that until one is preaching to others, he is not going to the madhyam adhikari, he is always with the kanishta adhikari. So that's why preaching is also in essence is also needed. But at the same time we should look very carefully to us. Just like there is if there is oil, and if we just giving the water to everyone, and one time will come, all of the water from the oil will be finished. But if the oil is connected to the sea, then water will be always flowing from there to the oil, and the water, how much we take from here, that will never be perished, that will never be finished. So there is an example that is being given. Krishna is the sea who can give ultimate energy to us. Krishna Shakti Vinanahe Tahar Prabhaktan. Without the mercy of Krishna, it's never possible to preach the name of Krishna to others. So then we will get the power from Krishna, and then if you give like 1 bucket, 2 bucket, 3 bucket, 4 bucket from the oil, it will never be finished. To be honest, always we should preach in a way that we give in a way that so that like our oil never be finished. I mean to say, first we should save, we should guardly save our bhakti, then we should help others. So I will just finish here, just saying about Raghunath Buddha, few points. So Buddha means he was a doctor, and he was actually a great devotee, humble servant who was residing in the Puri with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we see, his name was mentioned in the Antakhanda of Chaitanya Bhagavatam, and he met with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chiradadi festival at Panihati. And the most important and like interesting thing about it, whomever he had glancing, he would get the love for Krishna. Why not he glance to me? And in Gauraganadha Tipika, he was identified as the Revati, wife of Lord Balaram. So residing in the Jagannath Puri near the seashore. And there is one interesting thing. I was trying to find some information about his book Sthana Nirupan, but the text is actually lost. There was no trace about this book in any library or in any like online library or physical library also. So it is mentioned that the book is only available, and there was book like this. Devotees knew just by hearing from other devotees that he wrote a book like Sthan Nirupana that was about the holy places. That was about different pilgrimages. So that is from my side today. So let's have a recap, because my mind is so poor and my intelligence is so poor. Let's have a recap whatever we have discussed today. So we were discussing like how people are envious to Krishna, though there is nothing to be envious, because they are cultivating, they are the worst person in the world. Just like Sati was describing 4 types of people. The first class one, never see any fault of others. The second class, see both good and bad, always focus on the good for his own benefit. It's not like helping others, it's actually for helping him. The third one is seeing both good and bad, just focusing on the bad. The fourth one is the earth person, not earth, sorry, my English is not so good. Only see the bad of others, never think of good anything, just like Duryodhana. Then we discussed about how Krishna actually wants to be the servant of the devotees. Of course, Krishna wants first devotees surrendered to him, because he don't want to be controlled by some nonsense person. He wants, because when Krishna is being controlled, when one get pure devotee, like there is a nice verse like this: Krishna jadi kare kripa bhakte bhukti mukti diya tabu Krishna premanadan rakan lukaiya. Krishna always try to, on the preliminary stage, try to make the devotee satisfied with bhukti mukti, like giving the material benefit and liberation. Tabu Krishna premanadan rakan lukaiya, always try to hide the pure devotional love to him in the hiding position, after checking so many times, because he don't want to be controlled by any stupid person, because pure devotee can control him. So how we see how Krishna want to be controlled by his devotees as a friend, as a loving object, as a son of his devotees. And later we saw how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also we were discussing how then it's our duty to help others, those who are envious, the materialistic person. And later we discussed how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also urged to all of the devotees, though he is Lord himself, he can do whatever he likes by his own will, but he is urging devotees, he is actually giving some chances to us to be purified. So he is urging to the devotees, please give these fruits of love of Godhead to everyone, and especially in this age of Kali, the one who is most fallen like me, he is the most perfect person to get the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jodi Daya, then there is like one nice saying, Ama uddhariya jodi dekhao taba bal patita pavananam tabishishapal. Your name as a fallen deliverer will be successful only and only when you can show your prowess by delivering me. Because I am the most fallen soul. Patita pavananam tabishishapal. And so that is the point from my side. So I pray urgently, please mercy to me, so that I can be in the association of the devotees and not see the fault of the devotees. At least. I want to hear something from you, any correction, any comment, of course not any question. It's already 9:05. Prabhu.
Thank you for the class, Prabhu. One question: when someone sees fault in you, how to react? How we should react?
When someone sees fault in myself,
Yeah, like you're doing something, you know, you're doing your best, and then someone arrives and is saying, "Oh, but why you do like this? It's not like this. You are a rascal," and etc. So
Yeah.
how to react in those cases?
for this reason, if we discuss from 2 points, like one who is criticizing, there are some methods to, one is criticizing and one is rectifying. There is a difference between these two.
Yeah.
And one is, one's intention is to rectify others, then it should be sublime and in a soft manner, and also, of course, privately, not in front of others, because everyone has their own prestige, own image. And that's true, that should be, because in the Ramayana also, when Vibhishan was kicked by Ravana, then Vibhishan saw all of the assembly was laughing to him, and he was feeling so like bad in his heart. Then he told Ravana, it is a must for every living entity to live with his own prestige until his death. We should also remember there is a clear line between the self-respect, self-prestige and being proud. There are, of course, difference. So that's why we always, everyone has their own image and self-respect, self-prestige. So that's why you should never criticize or rectify other, even rectification should not be in front of others. It should be always personally. And also we should have to check that whether I am the right person to criticize him or to rectify him. Because to be honest, sometimes we may think, okay, I am doing it in a soft mentality, in a good mentality. I really want to correct him because I really want to him developed. But still we have to see that whether I am the right person. Because if we are not the right person, then the person will never hear us. What do we think? Do we think we are much more better intelligent than Krishna? Krishna was not amending or rectifying Arjuna. He was silent until Arjuna said, Shishyastham sadimam tam prapannam. Now I am taking shelter of you, you are my guru. Srila Prabhupada told in one of his lectures, you both of our friends, you talk, me talk, I am talking, you are talking, and there is no conclusion. That is nonsense. That was Krishna was silent. But Arjuna took shelter, then he got this mentality, okay, now I have to hear from Krishna, there is no other way. Then Krishna delivered his speech. That's why we have to, if there is we are supposed to correct him, then we have to check whether we have this right to check him, to correct him. If we are not the right person, then we have to take shelter of that particular person who has this access or right to correct that person who is doing something wrong. And if the person is, I am doing the wrong, and someone is criticizing me, and what reaction should be in that particular case. Generally, to be honest, what we have learned from in our training course, and that really helps me also, like at that time becoming silent. Because if we react at that time, then there will be huge mess, and there will be like quarreling, and it will never be ending, and it will be much more than what we can think. It's better if we just tolerate, be silent at that moment. And if it is tolerable for us, we can tolerate it. But if we think I can tolerate it, it's really too much for me, I'm getting affected, my spiritual advancement practices are getting affected, then we should inform our authority so that he can take some action, either it's my fault or someone's fault. Thus we can be satisfied in our heart. An authority will do something, a perfect authority will do something that is matching for both of them, so that both of them can be elevated. Thank you so much. I think it satisfies you.
Yeah.
If not, then we are from there. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It's very easy to say, difficult to do. But still we have to say, we have to hear. We have to practice. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki.
You can try to